way. You have learned how to, make friends in all different circles from all walks of life. And that's one thing that I'm proud of you about. And you're not afraid to speak up for yourself, which you should not be.
Did Riley really spend $14,000 in one night? Yep, and it was her mom's card. Hold up, did Riley really blow $14,000 in a single night out in New York City? And worse, did she actually use her mom's credit card to do it? Believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. And let's just say her mom, the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kandi Burruss, is not happy about it.
Ask about that $14,000 bill that's teased in the trailer.
So we get the bill, $14,000. Over. I'm calling your mother.
It better not be on the card I pay for it.
This wasn't just some minor slip-up, it turned into a major moment that left a lot of people shocked and wondering what's really going on with Riley. If you've been following the reality show Next Gen NYC, you already know Riley's been enjoying the high life. We're talking designer outfits, luxury restaurants, fancy rooftop hangouts, the whole NYC influencer lifestyle. But in a recent episode, things went from glam to chaos. Riley and her friends hit up a club, partied hard, and racked up a bill that totaled $14,000. And when it came time to pay, Riley didn't pull out her own credit card. She used her mom's instead. Yep, without asking first. Riley casually explained it on the July 1st episode like it was no big deal. She said she just wanted to make sure her share of the bill was covered, around $7,000, and since her mom's card was there, she used it. But let's be honest, most moms wouldn't be okay with that, and Kandi definitely wasn't. She only found out after the charge was flagged. Riley hadn't mentioned a thing until it was already on the radar.
I may be small, but my empire keeps on growing.
When Kandi confronted Riley, things got real. She didn't scream, but her face said everything. At one point, she even picked up a napkin and threw it at her daughter like, "Girl, what were you thinking?" Then she hit her with a line that stung. "I'm paying for 1,942 bottles and $14,000 bills? You must have too much money to waste." And no, that wasn't a joke. You could hear the frustration in her voice. It wasn't just about the money, it was about respect, boundaries, and responsibility.
It's Kandi Burruss, and people might remember me from Real Housewives of Atlanta as a kid.
I'm a TV person in Montana as well.
You saying you'd rather not talk to me and watch TV? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
No.
I just graduated a month ago from NYU with a major in music business. I really want to work in the music industry. I feel stressed and on a time crunch because my mom has given me 1 year before she cuts me off financially. It is big shoes to fill.
Pressure is definitely on. Me saying that in the most monotone
Literally, I was
voice
thinking
ever.
that. If you said like, the pressure is definitely on.
Sure, Kandi's wealthy. But even rich parents want their kids to understand the value of money. Kandi has been warning Riley for a while about her spending habits. She's mentioned before that Riley doesn't always grasp what it takes to afford that lifestyle. It's one thing to enjoy nice things, but it's another to act like the bank account is bottomless, especially when it's not your own. This wasn't just about one expensive night out. It was the latest example in a pattern that Kandi has been trying to correct for a while. In earlier episodes, she gave Riley a clear deadline: figure out your life within a year, either go to law school or get a serious job because the financial support is going to end. That wasn't a suggestion. It was a warning. Kandi isn't trying to be harsh. She just wants her daughter to grow up, take ownership, and start building something for herself instead of relying on her family name and fame. Now, some fans might say, come on, she's 22. Everyone makes mistakes at that age. And that's fair. Most people in their early 20s aren't making perfect financial decisions. Moving to a big city, trying to find your path, and figuring out adulthood? It's messy. But the difference here is scale. Most young adults aren't spending the cost of a semester at law school in a single night, and definitely not with their parents' card. On top of that, Riley isn't broke. She's worked with brands like Dark and Lovely and Makeup Forever.
I mean, I think I have a lot of
anxiety and also excitement about the entire series. There's a lot that goes on, a lot of dynamic shifting, and a lot of surprises, I feel like, but you know, everyone needs to tune in to see how it evolves.
She's got her own income, a platform, and a growing career. So it's not that she can't afford things. But that's exactly why people are frustrated. Just because you can spend doesn't mean you should. And using someone else's money without telling them isn't just careless, it's disrespectful. Online reactions have been mixed, but many are criticizing her. Reddit threads and social media posts have been calling Riley entitled, spoiled, and disconnected from reality. Some even joked she's spending like she has Beyonce money but only bringing in YouTube checks. And while that might sound harsh, it's part of a bigger conversation about growing up in the spotlight. To her credit, Riley isn't just partying and avoiding responsibility. She's had mature moments on the show. She's spoken up for herself, defended her character, and shared that she's still figuring out who she is outside of being Kandi's daughter. She even made a big move by getting her own place in Brooklyn, which is no small feat, especially with NYC rent prices. So yes, she's trying to stand on her own 2 feet in some ways. But spending $7,000 in one night and charging it to your mom sends a different message. It makes it hard for people to see her as independent when her choices say otherwise. There's a fine line between growing pains and reckless behavior. And right now, Riley seems to be bouncing back and forth between both. The real issue here isn't just the credit card swipe, it's about what happens when someone grows up with money, fame, and pressure all around them. Riley's life has been public since she was a kid. From Real Housewives of Atlanta to now Next Gen NYC, she's always been under a microscope. And when your mom is a Grammy-winning singer, successful businesswoman, and TV star, the expectations are sky high. People expect Riley to have it all figured out already, to be polished, mature, and focused. But she's still just 22, trying to carve out her own path while also living up to her mom's legacy. That's not easy. Every move she makes becomes public discussion. Every mistake gets magnified. And while some people think she should know better by now, others believe she's still learning like anyone else her age. So, what's next for Riley? That's the real question. Will this be a wake-up call? Or just another bump on her journey toward independence? Time will tell. What we do know is that Kandi is drawing a line, and this $14,000 mistake might just be the moment that finally makes Riley listen. At the end of the day, this isn't just a story about money. It's about growing up, learning accountability, and finding your own identity even when the spotlight's always on. So yeah, Riley's not broke, but let's be real, she's not exactly building an empire on her own either. She's in that in-between stage. She's got access, she's got opportunities, but she's still relying heavily on her mom, both financially and emotionally. And when you're living off your parents' money, especially when your parent is a reality TV powerhouse like Kandi Burruss, freedom comes with strings attached. You might be living large, but you're not fully in control. This whole $14,000 club bill situation? It's way deeper than one wild night out. It's about boundaries. It's about accountability. And more than anything, it's about Riley learning the difference between having freedom and earning freedom. And that kind of growth? That doesn't happen overnight. It's uncomfortable, it's messy, and yeah, sometimes it gets broadcast to millions of people. But here's the part that really matters now: what happens next? Will this be Riley's wake-up call? Will she finally pick a path and run with it? Because at this point, the clock is ticking. Kandi made it very clear on Next Gen NYC, Riley has 1 year. 1 year to either get a real job, enroll in law school, or find a sustainable way to support herself. After that, the financial support ends. No more swiping mom's card. No more buffer. And now that this $14,000 mess is out in the open, Kandi might be less patient moving forward. This could be the moment she finally draws a hard line. But honestly, that might be exactly what Riley needs. Now let's talk possibilities. Riley isn't starting from zero. If she gets serious about the influencer game, she could really build something. She's already worked with major beauty brands. She's got the followers. She's got name recognition. She just needs consistency, vision, and discipline. If she puts her energy into it, she could easily create a lifestyle on her own terms. Or maybe it's DJing. She's dipped her toes into that scene too, and that lane could be fire if she's willing to grind. It's creative, it's cool, and it's totally separate from her mom's world. If she builds skills and networks the right way, she could stand out as her own person. And then there's law school. It's still an option. It's the least flashy of all her potential moves, but it would be a real sign of commitment and maturity. It's a tough road, but it would show she's serious about her future. So now, we want to hear from you. Is Riley just living through a typical young adult phase, figuring herself out like the rest of us did at 22? Or did she take it too far by using her mom's credit card without permission? Drop your thoughts in the comments because you already know this conversation isn't over. And if you want to keep up with more wild moments from Next Gen NYC and other reality TV deep dives, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. We'll see you in the next one. Is Riley just living through a typical young adult phase, figuring herself out like the rest of us did at 22? Or did she take it too far by using her mom's credit card without permission? Drop your thoughts in the comments because you already know this conversation isn't over. And if you want to keep up with more wild moments from Next Gen NYC and other reality TV deep dives, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. We'll see you in the next one.